My fellow Americans. Jesus. Okay. Let me just give you a quick update over the past 10 months of nonsense to let you know how we've gotten to where we are and where we are as a union. Hint, we're cooked.
January.
Trump gets reelected as president. We remove the US from the Paris Climate Accords. A bunch of J6 felons get pardoned. We remove DEI from almost anything. Blame DEI on planes crashing helicopters. And then we rename the Gulf of Mexico to the Gulf of America.
February.
The 3-year anniversary of Russia versus Ukraine. Luka gets traded. And Kendrick Lamar absolutely humiliates Drake yet again.
March.
The Palestine conflict heats up, Tesla stock nosedives, and the US ranks the lowest it's ever been in a happiness poll.
April.
Tariffs.
May.
The Diddy trial begins, and TikTok gets banned for 3 hours and then unbanned.
June.
Badgeless, shiested up, alleged ICE agents have really hit their stride, rounding up people and shipping them off to random places. Hundreds of people died in India in a plane crash, which is insane. I don't know how one person actually walked out of there alive. Nuts. You subscribe to this channel. Sensational. One good gleaming light out of all this.
July.
The Department of Justice announces the Epstein list doesn't exist. Diddy gets off basically scot-free in his trial, and the Olympics Committee bans trans people from participating in women's sports.
August.
Another slew of mass shootings. ChatGPT releases its new AI engine, and Trump sends troops to DC.
September.
Trump may or may not have had a stroke, may or may not be aging extremely rapidly, and Charlie Kirk got assassinated. And that brings us to where we are today, mid-September, where the state of our union is in absolute disarray. And I called it. I don't want to say I called the downfall of the American system, but I knew as soon as Luigi killed that United Healthcare worker, I said, okay, it's finna start. I'm pretty sure I said that in a video. As soon as I saw people parading Luigi around like some urban folktale hero, like Peter Pan himself killing Captain Hook, I knew for a fact that there was going to be some sort of issue in terms of copycats or other people thinking it's okay to take justice and the law into their own hands and killing other people in the name of justice. And it's wrong. Bad people are doing bad things and should be held responsible for those things. Great. The unfortunate part about it is these things are not objective. James Earl Ray, the person that killed Martin Luther King, I guarantee you in his head, his motive was the exact same as the person that just killed Charlie Kirk. The person on the other end of the bullet was doing something bad for the United States, was doing an injustice, an atrocity. Things were gonna turn out bad because of the things that he was pushing and the theories that he was promoting. They killed him. There are two sides to every story. There are two sides to every conflict. There's two sides to every social issue in the United States. And for us to sit here and say, oh my goodness, and for the people that are out there actively cheering, saying, oh my goodness, this is a good guy for what he's done, it's truly, it gives me the same energy as us parading around Luigi. It's like, we can't do that. Like we literally cannot and should not do that for a productive society. Like that is the point of talking, the point of discourse, to be able to talk these things out. Once we devolve into killing people, we're cooked. We are cooked. But let me tell you, there are the people that are celebrating the death, happy that it happened. Wrong. But there's also the other class of people saying they just don't empathize with it or sympathize with it. Whichever one is the right one, where they're just apathetic overall. It's like, okay, he's promoting bad things, something bad happened to him. What, am I supposed to lose sleep over it? And to that I say, okay. I don't know if any of you guys saw the video of him being shot. It was traumatizing. Years ago, I got off the subreddit pages that were absolute gory and like not safe for life videos where I saw people actually dying and whatnot. I haven't seen that stuff in years, and I ran across that video and I clicked on it because it was when it was just happening a few minutes in, and I looked at him being shot, the way the bullet went through his neck, the blood coming out, the way he seized up and locked up and fell over. It was intense and it was crazy. And it's also, once again, did that change anybody's mind on the topics at hand? I guarantee it didn't. There's this clip running around under a lot of the posts of Charlie dying of him saying, Second Amendment rights, some deaths are necessary to keep the Second Amendment rights or whatever it is.
So we need to be very clear that you're not going to get gun deaths to zero. It will not happen. Right. You can significantly reduce them through having more fathers in the home. We should have an honest and clear reductionist view of gun violence, but we should not have a utopian one. You will never live in a society when you have an armed citizenry and you won't have a single gun death. That is nonsense. It's drivel. Wow. But I think it's worth it. I think it's worth to have a cost of, unfortunately, some gun deaths every single year so that we can have the Second Amendment to protect our other God-given rights.
He's just one that took one for the team. Great for him. He died what he was, wanting. He died for a cause he believed in. And I'm like, because honestly, he did say it. He said that logically, it kind of follows. Like, I can see that point of view. Being the fair guy I am, I naturally want to look for the other side, the other opinions. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm some sort of contrarian. I don't know if I'm a constant devil's advocate. I don't know what it is. But the other kind of aspect of that was like, so you're saying somebody saying, oh my goodness, some DUI deaths are going to happen because of alcohol in the country, but I still think alcohol is worth it to have in the United States. And then somebody drunk driving and hitting that person that said it in a crash, and it's like, okay, yeah, that's what they got because they said alcohol should be in the United States. And it's like, I see that point of view too, kind of. I don't know, and that in itself, it just feels like, it feels like there's some sort of logical fallacy in there. And I've thought about it a little bit, just trying to come to terms and come to a conclusion of like, well, what side is actually right in terms of this specific quote and what he was saying. And I don't know, I want to say, like, in my head, in my heart, I want to say like there's an inherent difference between alcohol and guns and the rights to have these things and the ways in which we should be able to use them. And at the same time, I think in that quote, he was also just saying there should be a conversation had about guns and minimizing the deaths and minimize the killing from them. But I feel like that portion of the quote, a lot of people just don't see or don't witness. I don't know. That's just one point. That's just the gun control point. There's a lot of things that he was pushing that are negative in terms of Black people's rights and I guess women's rights. I don't know. I don't look too much into it, but my point is there has not been one person whose mind was changed by this man being killed. If anything, it makes the side that killed him look worse because they're resorting to violence and bad means in order to get their points across and in order to push their policies across. So all that to say, we're cooked. As a society, we are cooked. Hug your loved ones. Hold them tight, keep them safe and warm because people are ruthless. I don't think much is gonna get better because people don't listen. People aren't open to listening. I was scrolling through Reddit, and of this Charlie Kirk situation, there was a post, and it was in Black people Twitter, and they were like, oh my goodness, we would just hope it's an immigrant or somebody else that came into the country and did these things, not a fellow white person.
I was praying that if this had to happen here, that it wouldn't be one of us, that somebody drove from another state, somebody came from another country. Sadly, that prayer was not answered the way I hoped for, just because I thought it would make it easier on us if we could just say, hey, we don't do that here.
And I'm thinking, I don't think that's what the guy was saying. Like, people have no sort of grace to people or no sort of even trying to understand, and it makes me sick to my stomach. Truly, what I saw in this post was him saying, ideally, it would be an immigrant or somebody else from a different country or a different society because you wouldn't want a fellow American doing these things. Like, I would hate the idea of America being in such a bad place that this would cause somebody domestically to do something like this. Like, that's what, in my mind, I would think I have fostered a community of hope, of kindness, of communication, of at least being able to be cordial with people that in our community, this would not have happened. That's what I would hope, and that was not the truth. So of course it's going to hurt you more than you would want it to. But I don't think people are open to even taking that idea or that thought process in. They want it to be so malicious, they want it to be so divisive, when it really just doesn't have to be a lot of the times. And I'm not, once again, that's on both sides. Like, there's also people shouting, stand up white person, fight back white person. And it's like,
man, fight back! White 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 man, fight back!
what? What is happening? Apparently they're going after HBCUs, and it's like, how? A white person did the shooting, allegedly. What is this white person fight back? What is this after HBCUs? Like, it just feels like targets where targets shouldn't be, chastising where chastising shouldn't be, understanding and misunderstanding where people just aren't open to trying to understand. It's truly a madhouse. I've never seen anything like it, which is why I just try and stay out the way. Truly, you will never catch me trying to argue or change anybody's mind over anything. I promise you, I am 1000% jaded, and I'm 1000% at this point. Believe what you're gonna believe. I believe people are gonna believe what they want to believe no matter what. Truly, people aren't changing their mind. In 2025, we left changing minds back in, when was the last time people used to actually change their mind? I don't know. I don't know. I just feel like people are not malleable anymore. If you know what you know and you think what you think, you believe what you believe, I think at this point, hey, it's set in stone. No, man. And I think a part of the problem is just being unserious in general. The shooter himself put these random jokes on these bullets. Honestly, just unserious. Like, the situation is serious in itself. Watching the bullet go through this man's neck and come out the other side, his wife and kids, like the fact that they were in the crowd and this happened, juxtaposed with what the shooter had on those bullets. I don't know if you guys have seen that, but it was like, if you're reading this, you are gay, LMAO. Trolling, like just an unserious connotation, an unserious vibe about something that is honestly peak seriousness. And even if you're scrolling through the internet, just stay off the internet. Maybe that's the problem. I need to go outside. But even on the internet, just meme after meme after meme of Charlie and the different things. There was like one about a conspiracy theory, and it was like when the sniper that was supposed to hit his ear accidentally killed the guy, and it was like the guy from One Piece or whatever it was. It's like, bro, can we just be serious or something? Because this is insane. The relations right now, the state of the union is in disarray. And once again, we have to get to the point where we are condemning anybody who is killing somebody over these political opinions or whatever it is. It was one thing where Trump got elected and people are like, I don't want to be your friend anymore. It's like, okay, that's not life or death. Sure, you can cut people off for politics all you want to. Killing people, I just think a line has to be drawn, especially with things that aren't objectively true. It's like, I just want people to understand that just as much as you believe you are right and you are just in what you're saying, the other people do too. Point blank period. No matter how hard it is for you to conceptualize and wrap your mind around, oh my goodness, how could they possibly think that not giving the woman the right to choose an abortion or not is right and just? That is not the point. It doesn't matter. I don't think it matters whether you understand their rationale behind it. What I want people to understand is that they do have that belief. Like, that is something to them that they believe in to the core. And if they went and said, okay, giving women the right to choose is bad and I'm gonna kill a spokesperson on behalf of that, it's bad. Like, it's just bad. Just because it supports your point of view does not mean it's okay to commit some bad act against the opposition. Am I making any sort of sense? I don't know. Once again, I'm just speaking out to the wind. I think we're cooked. I truly do think I'm cooked. I sent a couple videos. I don't know if it was last video, a couple videos ago. Maybe a few videos ago. I don't think people are going to change their mind. I am so jaded in a sense of whether you're left, right, whatever it might be. People don't take the time to look at different points of view. People don't take the time to think critically about their own thoughts and why they do what they do and why they believe what they believe 90% of the time. So for me to sit back and think, oh my goodness, relations in the US are gonna get so much better policies and the discourse between people is gonna get so much better at this point, absolutely not. Like, I truly just do not believe that. So if I had to sum up the state of the union in one word, I would say cooked. I don't know, but stay safe out there, man. Stay safe.